Hello, good evening. I am Jihene Kochrad. I am a Tunisian romance writer living in Germany. Today, I would like to talk about a sensitive topic. It is about the border control in Tunisia. As as a simple citizen, Tunisian citizen, talking nearly every day about the different problems in Tunisia, especially after the revolution, after 2011. And as a simple citizen who follow the news in Tunisian media talking about the different problems in the border between Algeria or Libya, about the Tunisian borders, the terrestrial borders. So, as a simple interpretation, I could maybe propose a solution for the people who are working in the border control there. As a simple proposition from me, uh, as I understand the conditions of Tunisia and the border conditions there, as I remember, when it was a revolution in Libya and it was a civil war, it wasn't not only a revolution, it wasn't a simple revolution, simply a revolution, it was a civil war. It was completely armed civil war, so it was very dangerous thing. So, as I understand that the border between Tunisia and Libya, one of the project was the construction of a wall border. I find this decision is a little bit excessive. Why? First, the south of Tunisia, the Sahara in Tunisia, is absolutely very poor place. The only possibility to grow up the economy in this place is the coordinations with the Libyans, if they are business people or if they are families from Libya coming to Tunisia. And when the president, his name I think is Sipsi, yeah, okay, he decided to create a wall between Libya and Tunisia in the southeast Tunisia, between Libya and Tunisia. I find this decision is very excessive. I think that he doesn't understand really the need of this region in the south of Tunisia. First, it is a business need. This place is the poorest place in Tunisia. And if they decide to create a border by walls, so how could this place grow up later if it is not with the coordinations with the Libyans? So, my own propositions. I hope that some responsibles in Tunisia could find solutions for that. My own proposition as a simple Tunisian citizen, understand these conditions in my country, is simply understanding what was happened first in Libya. As I remember when I follow the news all the time, what was happening in Libya when I was in Tunisia, uh, the people who were fighting against the old regime in Libya, they were simple families. What does it mean? It means the people, they were adopting the revolution against the old regime. They buy by their own private money, their own family money, the arms from NATO or from Europe or from Russia or from Middle East. This with their own private money. It's without funding from any public sector in Libya. So it means it's absolutely a private thing. It means they invest with their own private money for defending their families. And after the revolution and after the civil war, it's good that I hope that the condition will be better in Libya in the next time, in the future. So the steps was happen like that. When they voted for a legitimate government in Libya, I think his name is Haftar. I think I'm not really sure. So Haftar and Jawed. Oh no, not what is his name. I should remember the names, but I'm not really sure about the names. Okay, Haftar. I think Haftar. Yeah. And I think that the majority of the people in Libya, they agree about the selection, about the future people who will represent the Libyans in the government there. So it looks that no problems is about that. So mostly the people the Libyan people who bought the arms from Universal Industry of Arms, they gave their own arms to the national army, which represent the voice of the people, of Libyan people. This is a decision, a very, very responsible decision, a real engagement from the people. First, they bought the arms with their own private money, without the help of any association, without the help of any public sector. And after, they gave these arms as a gift to the national army, who represent normally their voice. So, what about the Tunisians? In my opinion, when the Tunisians decide to construct a wall, border wall, between Libyans and Tunisians, I find this decision not really responsible. First, it's not responsible for the Tunisians, for the south region in Tunisia. Secondly, it's not responsible also, it doesn't respect the Libyan people when they like to cross Tunisia for going to Morocco or going to Brazil and all. So they don't need all the time crossing some points of border points and spending 2 months or 3 months for crossing Tunisia. It's absolutely not practical. In my opinion, the best solution for the border control between Tunisians and Libyans after the civil war in Libya is simply the proposition about creation of army box. What does it mean, army box? The army box is simply specific as a private thing. Some army families who were in Libya and who were investing their money for buying arms, for defending themselves when they are crossing African country, if it is in east of Africa or if it is in west of Africa, for traveling, to defend themselves from piracy, defend themselves from arms, defend themselves from bombs. So, the best solution for them when they give back their own private arms to the national army, when they like to travel outside of their country, they should be defended also. And it is one of the responsibility of the Tunisians that these Libyans, they are safe outside of Libya. It's like our family also. One of the proposition, as I think about, is simply the creation of army boxes for specific private families who were engaged in civil war in the past. When they like to travel outside of Libya, they should be safe with their own arms. Each family can have their own army box in the border control between Libya and Tunisia. And when these families cross Tunisia, and when they like, for example, traveling to west of Africa, traveling, for example, to the Atlantic Sea, going to Brazil, going to Asiatic country, it's their right. If they like to travel, it's normal. They are free people. They respect the free expression. They have no complex about any free expression. It's their right to travel and being safe as traveling. So normally the border control of Tunisia should offer them a safe trajectory to travel, if really they respect the Libyan revolution. As my opinion, it could be a good idea that they create a private army boxes for each family. For example, when a family they possess some simple arms against piracy, against bombs, against different things, they can have this box in the border between Libya and Tunisia. And when they like to travel outside of Libya, crossing Africa, going, for example, to Brazil, going to Asiatic country and all, so they could take these arms from their own boxes with their own private keys with them to defend themselves. The Tunisians, they have absolutely no intervention in any African country as army. It's absolutely not their own project. The Tunisian, they have no army presence in any African country. But when Libyans, they like to cross Tunisian territory and traveling safely and going from a place to another in Africa, they should be safe. Also, it should be safe in Tunisia and outside of Tunisia. It's our responsibility also. It's like our family, no problem about them. They respect the Tunisians, they respect the traditions in Tunisia, and we have no problem that they take their own arms. They are planning to travel from African country to another. And to avoid the problem of piracy and the problems of bombs since the World War in Africa. So, in my opinion, it could be a good idea to create a private arms boxes in the border control for each family, for the Libyans, and with their own keys, private keys. It's not in the possession of the border control, it's in the possession of the family. And when, for example, the Libyans, they like to travel from a border control to other border control, or when they go to Libya, for example, when they return to Libya, crossing Tunisia, these arms of army should be in the box. It should not be inside Libya. Because inside the country Libya, it should be safe. Not more army arms in Libya. Only the army arms are in the border control to protect the Libyans when they are traveling outside of Libya. Not more. But inside the country, not more army arms inside between the citizens. So this is my opinion about the border control. And what about the Tunisians? The Tunisians mostly, what is the law about arms in Tunisia? The only ministry in Tunisia who control the possession of arms in Tunisia is the Interior Ministry. It's not the decision of the army. This information should be known by the foreigners who live in Tunisia. For example, if some foreigners in Tunisia, they like to possess some arms in Tunisia, is not the certification to take arms in Tunisia is not taken from the army ministry, it is taken from the interior ministry. And one of the projects in the parliament in Tunisia is not more killing any citizen if he is Tunisian or not Tunisian, although if they are on the way to be terrorists. This is one of the projects in the parliament in Tunisia. Why? Because following the international laws, following the human rights, first of all, the tribunal in Tunisia is forbidden to judge by the penalty of death in the prisons, although these people are terrorists. Secondly, one of second laws which is on the way of discussion is about that the police people, when they affront daily problems with some dangerous people, if they are on the way to kill themselves or if they are in the way to kill others. One of the decisions which is talking about in the parliament in Tunisia is that not more using fire against anyone in Tunisia. No more fire against any human inside the Tunisian territory, if they are Tunisians or not. So what could be the solution when the police people, they are affronting horrible things, some dangerous people are on the way to do horrible things? So the only solution to stop some people to do horrible things is simply using tranquilizer gun. What is the tranquilizer gun? This is the last invention for police system. Tranquilizer gun is simply a substance of liquid, and this liquid is like a syringe. Okay, and this syringe is simply shooting anyone if he or she is in the way to kill themselves or to kill others, or if they are dangerous, they are ready to do horrible things, or to prepare a bomb, or to prepare something horrible like that. So the solution is using this gun, tranquilizer gun, to stop the people who are on the way to do horrible things. And this gun is only in the possession of the police people, is not in the possession of the army. The only ministry who gives the certificate to possess this gun, tranquilizer gun, is the Interior Ministry in Tunisia. And this arm, this civil arm, is considered as a human thing. It doesn't let to kill anyone. Simply, someone when he is shooted by this tranquilizer gun sleeps immediately. Not more effect for killing if he or she are on the way to kill themselves or if they are on the way to kill others. I hope that the parliament in Tunisia agree about this decision. And concerning the other people who can possess this tranquilizer gun, there are other different people. For example, not only the police people can have this gun, also the private security for hotels, for artist bodyguards. Also, it is for the people who have dangerous antecedents, like the people who have for example, if they are married with some people who have troubles, mental troubles, if they have violence inside their own families there, so they can defend themselves by this arm. They could have a certificate from the Ministry of Interior. Some women or if some men, they have dangerous thing inside their own families, if it is from their own kids or their own partners, if they have some troubles of violence, so they can defend themselves. And one of the interpretation of this law is trying to sign this law also for the Tunisians who are living outside of Tunisia, not only in Tunisia, to use this tranquilizer gun. When some Tunisians women, they travel outside of Tunisia, for example, to Middle East, for example, to Qatar. This is a simple example. I didn't travel to Qatar yet for knowing what was happening there. But as an example, when Tunisian women, they are married with no Tunisians, for example, in Middle East, in Qatar, when they discover that their own partners are on the way to do vengeance to them, they should defend themselves. Mostly some Tunisian women, they have kids. And when they have kids, they are not on the way to leave their kids. Especially if they made the contract of marriage in Middle East, not in Tunisia, and not with Tunisian marriage contract. So it means when they have kids with these people, they are not able to bring back their kids with them to Tunisia. So mostly these women stay in Middle East country as alone solutions. They cannot leave their kids. They cannot go with their kids to Tunisia. So as Tunisian, I propose maybe to the parliament in Tunisia to sign a contract. If really this country, Qatar, respect the free expression and the human rights as they are invented in Libya, so to sign a contract that the Tunisians, women, when they travel outside of Tunisia, if they are resident in Qatar, and if they are married with different people in Qatar, and if they have kids, and if the marriage is not a Tunisian marriage, so this woman should have a tranquilizer gun to defend themselves if their partners are on the way to distract mentally their wives and to distract mentally and physically their kids. This is the normal thing as a meaning respecting the human rights. If really Qatar believes on human rights. Thank you very much, Jihene.